Welcome in. You're loved. You're amazing. Is Bastille, is Heavy Duty, is Renegade the best to pair with Blackstone when running the critical pulse build here on Once Human? I don't know. I guess we can only test it out. Anyway, I'm new to making these Once Human builds, so if this is something you enjoy, be sure to comment. Let me know. Subscribe. If all y'all subscribe, we are about to be 150 subscribers away from the big 1K, man. Go ahead and join the one, be that pre 1K, but let's get into it. Let's go. So right now, what I run right now is the critical pulse. I run the Scar because of the event going on right now, but usually I run either the bingo sniper or waffle pistol to get the weak spot, obviously. And I run this is my main. Anyway, right now I'm running the currently run Renegade and 4 Blackstone. Everyone knows the 4 Blackstone is 100% best way to go with the critical pulse, so I don't need to explain it. You understand. If you need me to explain it, let me know. But basically, reloading on with shelter hurts the build, and this only has 1 bullet. So shelter, no good. Blackstone, good to go. Now I run the tattoo pants, overload pants. The past 3 days I've been doing nothing but run with reload the overload pants and Mayfly goggles. I'm telling you right now, pants are better. If you wanted to see that video comparison, let me know, but that's not what the comparison is today. Today is what's the best to run with critical pulse, and what's the best is the pants. Now I'm gonna switch to my gear run because right now these are all calibrated, right? So to make the test fair, I'm going to get a non-calibrated gear on for what we're testing today. The first one we're going to be testing is the 3 Blackstone with 2 heavy duty. The reason we're going to do 2 heavy duty because it gives not only gives the HP bonus, which is always really nice, but we have the elemental damage for 8%. What we're going to do is we're going to do a full clip of the overload for all the tests. We're going to see what it's looking like. Stay to the end and I'll show you all my mods. So here we go. First test for the heavy duty. So 1, 2, 3. This is what overload should take over. Okay, there we go. There's about 30,000 per with 406,000. The second test is right here with the Bastille set. The Bastille set again, 3 Blackstone with the 2 Bastille gloves. Now what this does is when your HP is above 70%, you're going to get that increase of weapon damage with that additional reload speed of 20%. You're going to be doing a crossbow, which is, reload 1, shoot, reload 1. So if we can reload faster, we can do more damage. That's why I run Renegade as my 1. When I run 4 Blackstone, I run 1 Renegade. That gives me that reload of 15%. This is a little faster while adding a weapon damage on top of it. So let's get into the test. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So it gets into the reload here. So now we get about 33,000 per, which is about the same on total damage, but the damage output is a little faster. So we'll see. This is our third and final test. Is 4 Blackstone, 1 Renegade going to be the king of all these tests? Let's find out. Again, I am doing this with 0 calibration on every single test that we're doing here. They're all the same, all the same. So 4, the only thing different with the Blackstone with the 4, I'm going to go to that real quick, is on this one, at 5 stacks, you can still be in warm status. So once you get those 5 balls that you are getting between on the second set, once you get 5, you get an additional 7%. Having 4, and the Renegade just gives you that extra reload bonus. So now instead of having like the other set, which gives you that 8% or weapon damage, now this one you're going to get 7% elemental. You have to get 5 of these the little balls that pop out in order to make it work. So sometimes with the crossbow you're not going to be standing still, you're not going to run and get the balls. So this is all dependent on the player, right? So in this one you're going to want to run around and get the balls to get that 7% extra, while Renegade just reloads people. Let's see what we get ourselves into. Hopefully we get the little balls to get it hard. But let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's see what we can get. So that one's a little lower, about 30k and a little less damage. Interesting. We went ahead and ran 3 tests of each set. This is the best numbers that we got on each of the runs. We have 30k per second with the heavy duty. We have 33 per second with the Renegade, and 33 per second for the Bastille. That was the best per second damage we got with all 3 sets. So right now it's looking like Bastille and Renegade are best damage. Now the reason why we're going to go into that right now, the reason why I think that these did better, not the heavy duty, because heavy duty are a purple rarity. Now, that's important to know because purple rarity will have less HP and less PSI intensity. Now, these will have higher HP, higher PSI intensity. The reason why that's important, HP is, it's kind of important because you can live better, right? Now, that's whatever, but PSI intensity is important because that is 100% what this gun scales on. 100% what Power Surge scales on is the higher the PSI is, the higher the damage. Now, let me show you the gun. If you look at the gun right here, it says trigger power surge on hit, blah, 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 more stuff. You can all read this for yourself. Now, here it goes. Down here is while you're in the charge state. Here's right here. Hitting a target soon, one charge create an orb of lightning that does 75% of your PSI intensity. Now, the more PSI you have, that 75% is going to be higher of more damage. And if you come to here, look at the details and go into actual power surge right here. Power surge deals stat damage of 50% the psi intensity. That means we want to build status damage of your psi intensity of the highest possible you can get it. That's why, in my opinion, why heavy duty didn't do as good. So you either want to build the 1 renegade or you want to go 2 Bastille. So run 1 renegade and 4 blackstone if you're going to go around and gather those gold balls for the warm sensation. If you can get those warm balls, then that's 100% the best build. But not everyone's going to run around and go get the warm stacks because you need 5 of them to really get the extra 7%. During the test, I did not go get the 7 balls. If I got the 7 balls, it would for sure be the best build. But are you going to always be able to get the 7 balls? No, it's not. The 5 balls is not possible. So it's up to your playstyle. And the next one is running 2 Bastille. If you run the 2 Bastille, right here, you're going to get the weapon damage with the reload speed, which is really good. And now, if you go look at the Blackstone, you no longer have to go get those balls. You just got to keep your temperature where it is. You have the elemental 18% right there. Bada bing, bada boom. So right here, this is a build that will always be doing damage at all times. So my personal opinion, I personally say the 2 Bastille is the best way you want to run. So you run 3 Blackstone, 2 Bastille for the best set for the critical pulse build. That way you don't have to go out your way. You don't have to do anything extra. If you run 4 Blackstone, you have to get the warm status. You have to. Now, the only other way you can change this to do better for you, if you have multiple people in your group running this critical pulse, spawning in these warm sensation, you can take other people's balls. It's a lot easier to get it when a lot of them around, right? So that's that considered as well. But this is the best self-sustain. If you're running by yourself, solo dolo, 2 Bastille, 3 Blackstone, overload pants. Now that's the best one to run. Now, these are my mods to go into it. The mods. So the first mod on your main weapon, you want to run Static Shock. Static Shock 100% is the best mod on this. Everyone runs it. I looked into 3 other ones to run. It just doesn't pop off. Then that duration being lower, being able to pop it more and having more power surge damage is insane. The best things to build on your mod here is going to be power surge damage, shock damage, and status damage. And elemental will be the next. It's all about balancing the status and elemental when you're building this build. But you want to get anything with power surge and shock damage on it 100%. On this weapon, it don't matter. I'm only doing this just for the funsies. You're 100% going to want to run Wildfire Bingo. And you're going to want to run Vulnerability right here. Adds Vulnerability plus 8% gives you more damage. That's 100% what you want to do. I'm just running this because we're running I'm in a lunar server right now. And having that bit, we got to go get the other players and stuff like that. Now, on your melee, I'm running Long Axe 100%. And you want to run Fortress Warfare, Territory. When the Fortress Warfare ends, so when that first initial axe swing and you do your damage, when that ends, you get additional weapon damage for 10%, as well as movement speed. Movement speed's nice, but the weapon damage 10% is what you want. So whenever you do the axe, you're doing your damage. When that ends, you still get an extra 10% damage to do your thing. I did not use the axe swing during the weapon testing. Now here is my mods for my complete set here for all my armor. Now, on your head, a lot of y'all are sitting looking at this mod right now be like, wait, this isn't Deviant Expert. Deviant Expert is the second option to run. The first option to run is called Work of Proficiency. When reloading an empty magazine, right? Which is every single shot you do, you reload empty magazine. Reload 10% speed. Now you're reloading even faster every time you reload automatically. Elemental damage 20% more damage on top of, and it resets when you next reload. Which means you reload every time, you're already getting 10% faster and you get an additional 20%. Let me show you Deviation Expert why it's not all that crazy. Let me find it. Deviation, here it is. The range doesn't really matter. Fire rate 10% doesn't matter because you're shooting only one bullet and your static damage 20%. Static damage 20% is still great, but the fire rate doesn't matter and range doesn't matter. The reload is what we're talking about, is what we want. We want to reload faster. Get the most we can get out of this crossbow is reloading. That's why we're on a secondary. It's reload with that Renegade or that Bastille. All the ones that I have tested were the it was Momentum Up, I think, and I got Elemental Havoc. I tried that one. Elemental Havoc right here. This is Elemental damage 10% when HP is above 90%. You get an extra 10%. So basically, you got to stay up at top 90% all the time. I'm in a lunar server right now, so it's not really worth it, in my opinion. You can get it easily. Elemental 20% right now is another one you could run as well. In the day, it's all about also what little subsets you have. But 100%, the best one to run is working proficiency, reloading quicker, and you have 20% every single time when you reload. It's amazing. It's beautiful. That's the best one for helmet. Now, onto your mask, the best one to run is Thunderclap. That is the best one. You want that Celestial Thunder. That is 200% psi intensity. A lot. So again, you want to get your armor upgraded the highest tier 5 you can, calibrate it all 6 so you get the highest you can, which got to come from the better higher rarity armor. Thunderclap, there you go. On your top right here, I run Flame Resonance. Now, you want to run the best Flame Resonance you can. There's one other one you can run. That's why I took a deep breath, because you can run, I gotta find it. This one right here called Quick Comeback. When using a heal shot, movement speed 20% and refill magazine inventory 100%. So basically, sometimes you get caught in reload animation. You're like dodging a lot or whatever. You could run this to get an extra. As soon as you heal, you're gonna get one arrow into your crossbow. So you can shoot, heal, shoot. You could do that and basically cancel your reload, which is nice. In my opinion, it's nice, but all depends on who has the better stats here, right? I have a few of these quick comebacks. They're pretty good. I just don't have any that really has a lot of status on it or a lot of elemental. I just don't have a lot. That's the only problem with me. So I try to make this one work. It was okay with the weapon damage on it, but I just said, you know what? It's better to run the blue because you want to get as much status, as much elemental you possibly can get. So this is 100% better for my build. You just want to build as much status elemental you possibly can. But unless you get a gold one that has a really good one, like really good stats on, like purple and gold version of those status elementals, go for that. If not, blue 100%. Now, on your pants, what you want to run here is abnormal increase. Abnormal increase is really good and will be very solid. It's something that you don't have to change a lot. I'm all about a build that works all the time, no matter what. You don't have to change anything. Here it is. Here we go. Perfect example of something that you don't have to do all the time is another armor set called Treacherous Tide. I'll show you really quick on Treacherous Tide. I gotta find it. So Treacherous Tide right here. Several people been run Treacherous Tide. It's another one of those situations where you gotta make sure you're doing everything all right. For example, here, weapon reduction. This is what you don't want to do it. This is another build we almost tested, but we decided not to, because if you run 2 sets of this, so instead of 2-step Bastille, 2-step Heavy, 2-step Treacherous Tide, you don't want to do this, because when HP is below 70%, you get weapon damage and status for 12%, right? That looks so good. Oh my gosh, below 70%, all this extra damage, all this extra status damage, because you want status damage, right? Status damage is really good when it comes to Power Surge build. Now, you have to keep your HP below 70%. So that requires you eating spoiled food or something like that that keeps your HP down below, or being a lunar server, for example, right? And not go back over 70%. Because if you go over 70%, this is immediately gone. So now you have to play with less HP with the potential of you just getting one-shotted. You're dying all the time. You always got to revive yourself. It becomes a very tricky situation. You're playing that fine line of always moving, always being on the lookout, always going crazy, you know? So this is another build you could do. It does really well. You have high weapon damage, high status damage. You just have to balance your HP and not go down. So again, this is the abnormal increase. Super simple. When your magazine is empty, status damage plus 10% for 12 seconds. Effect attack 3 times. That's 30% status every time your magazine is empty, because you're reloading constantly, right? So you're always going to have this going. Always going to have 30% status damage. There's a few other ones you could run but in my opinion, they're not as good. For example, precision charge is not as good. And there's another one that I know some people run. I gotta find it again to remember the name. I tried it. I just can't remember what it was. Like I said, it took about 3 days to do the thing. And this is a hands down the best one to get the best damage is abnormal increase. I have something always constant always gonna go. Now on the gloves, there's 3 ones you can have on the gloves. You can have elemental overload, which is the one I have right now, which gives you elemental damage. Because you, like I said, you want elemental damage and status to be even as you possibly can make them. Status is a little more important, but elemental still really, really good, right? So you can do elemental overload, which is really good. So you want to do the one with the best stats. I have a gold status damage on here to balance out the elements. I have double elements on. I have 18 plus the 1% here, which is like almost 20% in status 6. So it's a really good elements overlord. Now, we're going to go into it. I'm going to show you the other options you can run for this build. You can run status enhancements, which gives you status damage 20%. I just couldn't get a good one on it. I got this one with a reload speed bonus on it, which again, I'm doing a lot of reload on here. It did really, really, really well. Very comparable. I just like the fact that I have a gold status on here for 6% in the a lot elemental. But this is definitely a very, 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 very solid option as status enhancement. But yeah, so the ones you want to run is elements overload and status enhancement. Those are the 2 you want to run. Whichever one has the best substats for you, 100% go for that. And last but not least is the boots. Everyone runs it. Covered advance. It's just such a solid, good mod. You can't get any better than that right now on the boots. And a quick reminder, please try to get on here the mods for power surge and shock damage. If you don't know how to do that, you want to go to mods, top right here, click mod conversions. When you're building a mod, you want to come to this right side right here. Let's see if I can do one. You want to click the suffix basically, and you can pick what you want: talents, violent, random, whatever. It's going to be under, you want to go power surge here, surge amplifier, and you want to get talents. Talents going to be the most one you want to get the most for this. You can also get, like I said right here, power surge. It's very important to get power surge and shock damage. Very important. So don't do talents. If you can do the power surge, do the power surge and talent second. If you're building mods or if you're farming them, go get them. Power surge, then talents. If you're doing armor, you want to do talents. Always do talents, okay? Talents and on weapons, shock damage or power surge damage. Next on the list right here, super simple. These are 3 deviants you can run with this build and do just fine. The first one's here, the mini feaster. The mini feaster allows you to get your status damage increased by 17. Wait, I'm gonna do it right here. My camera's in the way, hold up. The first is right here, the mini feature. What's really important here is the status damage increased by 17% up to a maximum of 70%. That's insane. It's a little finicky because the tentacles have to smash it. For every 1 tentacle summoned, that's how it works, right? So the longer this guy's out, the higher status damage you're going to be, which is really, really good because, again, higher status damages, the better it is because it scales off your status damage. Some of the abilities do. So this is really good. The next one to have is just a simple gel. This guy does great. It heals you, allows you to stay alive. If you can't stay alive and you're not getting a lot of those tentacles spawning, easily just pick one of these guys. It gets your survivability up and does really, really great. The next one to do, if you want more damage, is this wolf right here. Wolves do so good. When you spawn a clone, when a target dies, it spawns a clone, which is amazing. It also grabs aggro. It also increases weapon damage received by the attack target by 43%. So whatever these dogs are attacking, you will now do 43% more damage, weapon damage. It's not status, it's not elemental, none of that. But you will have the increase of weapon damage on that target 43%, which is really, really good. So not only are you getting more of these aggros, it's just really good weapon damage. So these are your 3 ones you can do. They're all really good. This one gets a status damage, this one gets weapon damage, and this one allows you to survive. It's like, again, all I said is how you play, how you survive, how do you play this game? That's why I love Once Human. You can build anything you want. You can survive any way you want to. You can play any way you want to. Here's just some options. Choose what's best for you. The higher the skill rating, the faster you can get in the fights. It does the more tentacles. It gets more clones, things like that. You want to have the higher skill rating. for attack deviants, and higher activity rating for deviants that are at home working, whether it be like a BB or money or whatever. So that's kind of what this is all about. The traits are always really nice looking too, but skill rating is definitely what's really important when it comes to these deviants that are going to have out in the field, or skill ones when you take out, you'll have a good time. You want to have this high as possible. Max is 5 right here, and these are our home ones. So it's a really good dog to have. They also have, this is one of my lunar ones. It's great. When appearance deviance change, sinking ability grants weapon damage 5% when sanity below 30. So when I go lower, this guy does even more damage, which is like even insane, right? So yeah, so you can get these builds really crazy. Now, to talk more on what else you can do here, let's make our way over to the kitchen. I love this grill. Shout out Lilu. Now, on this grill, let's see if we have everything. If I have everything unlocked right now. So on the drink you want to do is the whimsical drink. If you want even more status damage by 25%, you got to go for the whimsical drink. And I'm not seeing the other ones, but you want to get mixed fried hot dog, which would be your food buff that does even more status and elemental damage. Mixed fried hot dog with this whimsical drink, and you will do crazy amounts of damage. And some quick last minute tips to even get even more depth in your build is these calibrations at your gear workbench right here. Gear workbench, come in here, go to the top right, calibrate. You can calibrate. You can replace these attributes with crossbow ones, and here you want to do a double elemental, but you don't want precision tile. I got unlucky. You 100% want to get that portable style. Portable style is really good. It ups your reload speed, and it allows you to keep doing more damage. This one takes away the reload speed, but I get, you know, a little more attacks. But the portable style is definitely the way to go, not precision style with double elemental. As well as when you're crafting your armor, don't forget to replace these raw hides right here with all kinds of things you can get. You can get all kinds of stuff from movement speed to weakness damage, stamina, non-weakness damage, damage recovery. You can get so many things. Match XP. Don't forget to change this over to any kind of hide you can, especially as you get in those tier 5, because if you use an attack one, for example, a mask, you can get weak spot damage, status damage. So what you want to get is, if you're not in a lunar scenario, you just want to get the regular, where is it at? I forgot where it was. The regular wool, I believe. No, here it is. You want to get the mountain wool, which gives you status damage 60%. Regular wool, and I think it's rabbit fur. That's what it was. So these are what you can craft on your armor to give you even more of elemental, more status, more damage. So look in that as well to get more stuff. It'd be rabbit fur and regular wool. That is all for you. That is literally what's best of Power Surge. I'll spend, like I said, about 3 to 4 days of venturing into all kind of videos, testing myself, trying out myself. That's the best build right there. 3 Blackstone, 2 Renegade. Holla at your boy. There's the mod. That's how you do it. You would love it, amazing. Don't forget to subscribe me to this fun video. Please, it helps a ton. If all y'all subscribe, man, pulling in, check it, man. We're about to hit that big 1K. We have a lot more games coming for you, more builds, just a lot on the way, especially with the new Once Human events coming on, Once Mobile. We have other games coming this next month, like packed with so much content. So I appreciate you tuning in. Peace.